Well, is there a specific way to translate the knowledge that the listener brings as an online business owner into YouTube? Like, how do they pick which topics to make YouTube videos?
It's not that they don't have ideas. They have a lot of ideas, and it's how do I pick that right idea? What are you trying to sell? Is that topic going to funnel into that thing that you're selling? And is it a relevant topic for your audience at the moment?
What's one other thing that people could learn from the framework that they could do right now to give their YouTube channel, let's say, a better chance of success?
I like to think about your YouTube video in terms of like a package, right? You have your thumbnail, you have your title, and you have your topic. And those three things all need to work in unison together to give your video the best shot of.
Welcome back to The Art of Online Business. Melissa Mitchell is here, and I'm saying that because I keep butchering her last name. But we were just on the previous episode where she is the owner of Wonderment Creative, and she's a YouTube video marketing strategist. She has an agency and a coaching business which helps online service providers and coaches scale their online businesses using YouTube to build an organic lead engine that fuels their sales funnels with consistent best fit leads. And just before we hit record here, I was saying, I'm really glad to have her on because you listening, your business is probably doing well. And you either have started a YouTube channel, kind of, but it hasn't taken off like you had hoped, or you just know that YouTube is the king of social media and you probably should diversify your content into YouTube because of how I won't spoil it all, but YouTube is really good at building know, like, and trust, as Melissa will tell you. And the reason I have her on is because I believe your business needs a YouTube channel because there's nothing like it. Google is the biggest search engine in the world, and YouTube is the second biggest search engine, and Google owns YouTube. And quite frankly, you're leaving money on the table if you have not started a YouTube channel, but it ain't easy. And so Melissa is going to share, right, Melissa? It's not easy.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm super excited for this conversation, and hopefully that everyone listening gets some really good takeaways of what you can do right now to either scale the YouTube channel you currently have or, how to get started creating one the right way with the right strategy. Because I'm a big, big believer in it's all about the strategy behind the YouTube channel that's really going to help you get that success and not just posting and praying, right? Which is sometimes I think what people are doing on YouTube and then get disheartened when they don't see the results. So yeah, let's get started.
Cool. If you didn't hear the previous episode and you're like, do they know each other? We do absolutely know each other. And we recorded a previous episode. Well, it's the segment, How We Built It. In this case, how she built her business. And we kind of dived into the genesis of her business and how she went from being creative in corporate to a sales manager in corporate to ultimately quitting that job and starting off as a social media manager before going into the YouTube world and helping clients build their online presence with YouTube and get those sweet, sweet, sweet organic leads that come from YouTube that trust you so much, by the way, once they've seen your YouTube videos and hop into your funnel. So we discussed all of that, and that episode is already linked up in the description below. So you can click there and get to know her better after you watch this episode. So I figured, Melissa, one of the first things I would want to ask you is what's at stake here? Like for the listener who has dabbled in YouTube and maybe hasn't had their channel, I won't say take off because you definitely you don't need a channel to get tons of subscribers in order to fuel your business with healthy organic leads, do you?
No, absolutely not. It's a big thing I teach actually is you can have a successful business with leads coming in with 100 subscribers, 200 subscribers. Like let's not chase vanity metrics because when you're a business owner, the leads and the money in the bank account's more important, right?
Okay, agreed. So what's at stake then for the person who has started the YouTube channel or has not ventured into YouTube yet, but they have a successful online business?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of mentioned it at the beginning in the intro there is that YouTube is owned by Google, right? And so it is the second largest search engine in the world. And if you think about where do you go when you have a problem or you're looking for an answer to a question, you go to Google, right? Or you go to YouTube, at least I do. And I'm looking for tutorials and I'm looking for advice or I'm comparing two products against each other or whatever to make that buying decision. And I think that's really the differentiator is not just that it's the biggest search engine, but that the intent behind the search is the true thing that's important. Because If you think about someone on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, they're scrolling, right? They're just passively scrolling because it's something to do. It's entertainment for the most part. But on YouTube, they're actively searching. That's the difference. And so once you've solved their problem that they're looking for, you've decreased that sales cycle so much because now they've consumed 5, 10, 15 minutes of your content. And then if you've set it up strategically properly, you're pushing them into the sales funnel in the back end. And that's simple as that, right? You could be off playing with your kids, going on vacation, and all this stuff is happening for you organically. So that is, in a nutshell, what you're missing out on by not having a YouTube channel. It's passive sales. It's decreasing that sales cycle, gaining that know, like, and trust, and without having to feel like you're chasing the rabbit of social media, because we all are sick of that. At least I am.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So, okay, the listener or me started a YouTube channel because we are now sipping the Kool-Aid, so to speak. But we haven't seen that growth on our YouTube channel, and we're not seeing those organic leads. What most likely could be holding us back?
Yeah, great question. It's a little bit of a loaded question because there could be multiple things. But I think the biggest thing that I would start to look at when I audit people's channels is, what are your videos actually about? Like, what is the overall strategy of your channel? Like, what is your niche? Who are you trying to serve? What are you trying to funnel people into? Like, those three questions, if you can answer that from your YouTube channel, you need to. If you can't answer that, you need to. And if you feel like you're a little fuzzy around those questions, then that's where you need to dive in and be like, okay, what is the whole purpose behind my channel in the first place? And then once you have that figured out, take a look at your videos. Like, is the video following those same questions? Like, who am I trying to reach with this? Is it actually funneling them into whatever product or service or course or thing you have to offer? Because if it's not, that's a problem, right? You're not going to get the right leads. And then,
If you wish that I could just hop into your Facebook ad manager and run your ads for you, or at least download all my 3+ years of experience into your ads so that they would run the right way, you pretty much got your wish. There's a new offer that I made, and my clients so far are loving it. It's called Facebook Ads to Success, and that means for you, I can coach you one-on-one so that you can successfully run your lead generation ad campaigns, your launch registration ad campaigns, even your sales funnel, SLO, self-liquidating offer funnel ad campaign. Here's how it will work. We will have 3 calls within 30 days. During the first call, I'm going to show you the exact ways to get your account running optimally. We'll do also like analytics setup if you don't have those set up right so that your ads can function the right way. We'll also look at your funnel and I'll point out to you the areas in your funnel that could be converting better. And I'll make recommendations about how to improve those areas of your funnel. And then if you have running ads currently, we'll look at those ads. Otherwise, we'll go through all the things you need to consider before setting up your ads. In between the calls, you get unlimited access to me. That means on Slack or Voxer or even Messenger, you get to record your screen or just send me audio messages or type something, but ask about your ads and I'll be able to give you recommendations right there. And then we'll set up the ads and then I'll show you how I check up on ads and all the moves that I would make. I'll walk you through those and teach you how to make those same moves so that you can successfully manage your own ads with confidence. Head to the link that you can see right on the screen to book your spot for Facebook ads one-on-one coaching with me. All right, back to the video.
are the topics actually relevant? Are your ideal clients actually searching for these things? And one of the big things I see happen too is that we get stuck in our own techno jargon of our industry. And so we think, oh, well, this is a really good title because it's so intriguing to us. But what we don't realize is that the words we chose are things that our audience isn't even aware of yet, right? Or maybe they don't search for that. Maybe they search for a different variation of that word. And so that's where that strategy comes into play of like, if you're not bringing in the leads, it's probably because your topic and your title are not where they need to be.
Okay. All right. So how do we contrast or compare YouTube with say Instagram? Because like I know the listener is either posting on TikTok or posting on Instagram for sure. Short form video content, they already got that down. Like as far as going for just digestible content, planning out a decent hook, using trending audios and posting every day. But what is the name of the game on YouTube?
Yeah, I mean, the good news is that if you're listening to this and you're already creating short form video content, you've already gotten halfway through the battle. Like, you know what you're doing when it comes to creating a hook. You know what you're doing when it comes to like actually setting up your camera, right? And filming, and you're probably feeling a little bit more comfortable on camera. So, some of those things are the biggest hurdles to get started on YouTube in the first place. So, you're 10 steps ahead. So, good news. Like, let's check that off. Now it's just, okay, so you've created the hook. Now we just need to fill the rest of the content, right? So instead of it being 60 seconds, maybe it's 4 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever that amount of time it's going to take to explain that piece of content. And then you want to also think about, how can I create engagement throughout the video, right? Asking them questions, keeping them engaged, making them watch till the end. So those are little things that are different, obviously, and there's an entire strategy around how to actually create this YouTube video with those things in mind. But the biggest thing is that you've already done half of the work with that hook, because we all know that's the most important thing, right? We got to hook them in at the beginning, the first 30 seconds. And so if you're already seeing success on short form, we just need to pull that into a long form video.
Well, is there a specific way to translate the knowledge that the listener brings as an online business owner into YouTube so that their videos actually get watched?
You mean like the actual presentation or the scripting outline? Is that what you mean?
I mean, how do they pick, of all the things they know and can help somebody with, like, how do they pick which topics to make YouTube videos out of?
Great question. Yeah. And this is actually, I'm glad you brought this up, because lots of times the people that I'm talking to, and probably your listeners too, because they're successful in their business already, it's not that they don't have ideas. They have a lot of ideas, and it's, how do I pick that right idea? And so again, it goes back to those 3 questions that I brought up at the beginning is, what are you trying to sell right now? If depending on how you sell things, are you doing it monthly? Are you doing it quarterly? Like, what is that? So is that topic going to funnel into that thing that you're selling? And is it a relevant topic for your audience at the moment? I would say there's kind of 2 different buckets on YouTube. There's the evergreen content that people are going to search forever. Like, it's just, no matter what time of year you post it, people are going to be searching for it. And then there's more of the trending topic, if you will, or the more time relevant topic. So as an example, I have a client who helps with accounting. She's like a finance expert. And so she has some very relevant topics that we need to create content on a certain time of the year. Right around tax time, we're obviously going to create content that's more specific to that. After tax time is over, it's more like, okay, now how do we plan for the new year? So you might be in a business that's very similar, where you're going to have time relevant content. So that's where I would start first. Pull out your calendar and pick the topics that are time relevant. And then when it comes to the evergreen content, again, think about, okay, what am I offering at certain times of the year? Or if you've evergreen sales, like evergreen courses or things like that, then it doesn't matter as much. And you can kind of pick it based off of how much search volume there is. And that's where that planning and that strategy comes into play so much.
Search volume?
Yeah. So how many people are actually searching for that idea in the first place? So keywords, if you've ever done blogs or any sort of Google things, it's very similar. Keywords for YouTube are very similar because it is owned by Google. So you'd want to start with saying, okay, this is an idea, or this is a topic I have in mind. Now you want to validate that idea to make sure there's actually search, meaning people are actually looking for that idea. And that's where keyword research comes into play. And so you can use tools like, we talked on our previous episode a little bit about this, but TubeBuddy and vidIQ are some really great YouTube tools that you can use to see how many people are actually searching for this term on YouTube itself. And the other, honestly, really good one that we didn't mention in the last episode was the YouTube search bar. This is something that people overlook so much, and it's so simple. Like, if you're just getting started, don't even worry about the tools right now. Like, literally just use the YouTube search bar, because YouTube tells you it's going to auto-populate when you start searching a term. It's going to auto-populate in the drop-down things that people are actually searching for. And this is YouTube basically saying, hey, yeah, like, this is a good idea. This is something people are searching for. So that's a great way to get started and validate your idea right off the bat.
I like that. So TubeBuddy, vidIQ are good research tools, but right away to get started, just type type different topics that you know about into YouTube and see what shows up in the search bar. Because if it shows up, somebody's already looking for it.
100%. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the lowest barrier to entry. Like, sometimes we make things too complicated, and where tools are great, but let's start with something simple and that you have all access to, and that's the search bar.
I like it. I like it. So this brings up a point, though, which I was kind of leading into with my previous question about how do we know of the things that we are well versed in talking about, which to make a video about, right? Because the worst thing, and I've made this mistake before, and you shared in the previous episode some other mistakes you had made, but the worst thing is you spend time editing a video and you put it on YouTube and then nobody watches it. And you're like, why? What is going on? And that could be because you made a video that just nobody's looking for.
Yeah, 100%. And sometimes the thing is with YouTube too, and with all social media really, is you're making your best educated guess, right? And so sometimes videos will take off and do really well, and sometimes they won't. And so if it doesn't, that's a learning experience for you to go back and look at the data and say, why didn't this video do as well as my previous video? What can I learn from this? How can I make my next video better? And so that's a big thing I think that a lot of people fall into the trap of is, oh, well, every video is going to go viral. Every video is going to get, 2,000 views, 10,000 views. And that's just not true. Like even
If
the big,
only.
yeah, if only, right? Even the big YouTubers out there, if you look at very successful channels, they have some videos that just don't do well. And that's normal. That's okay. But take it as a learning experience of how can I make my next video better?
You have a program called the Sold Out YouTube System, and you had told me that you had a framework called what was it, Lead Flow?
YouTube lead flow formula.
YouTube Lead Flow Formula.
Yeah, I like to make it a tongue twister for you.
Right? The YouTube Lead Flow Formula framework that's inside of your program, the Sold Out YouTube System. What I want to ask is, what's one other thing that people could learn from the framework that they could do right now to give their YouTube channel a better, let's say, a better chance of success, to bring in organic leads?
Yeah, a great thing again is if you have a YouTube channel already, is go back to your videos and look at the analytics. Like take a look and see what the data is telling you instead of making emotional decisions, which sometimes we can do, right? Is go back and look at your thumbnails. Do all of your videos have thumbnails? If not, like we need to create thumbnails, number one. Very, very important. Go back and create thumbnails.
All right, I'm doing that too.
You're like, oh shoot, she called me out.
I ran out of time, okay? And there's a couple of videos in the past 4 weeks that don't have thumbnails, so I'll be putting those on there.
Yeah, super, super important thing. I like to think about your YouTube video in terms of like a package, right? So you have your thumbnail, you have your title, and you have your topic. And those three things all need to work in unison together to give your video the best shot of seeing success on YouTube. So if you can go back and like audit your channel, if you will, and look at those three things, like is the topic relevant for my audience? Is the title using keywords and it's engaging and hooking my people in? And is the thumbnail engaging? Like look at it in terms of search when you search that term and see, is my thumbnail better than the rest of the thumbnails on this page? How can I make it better? How can I make it more stand out more? Those things are what I do when I audit clients' channels. And so you can take away those 3 points and go audit your own channel. And then if you don't have a YouTube channel and you're like, okay, well, it's something I can do right now to get started, I want you to just start a channel. And I know that sounds like really simple, but I just want you to open a channel and start putting the banner up, put a profile picture up, figure out what your about section is. And that's just going to give you a little bit momentum of, okay, it's started now. Now what's my next step? What can I do now? And if you want, I can give you the link to my YouTube Fast Track Toolkit. It allows you to get your YouTube channel set up in 2 hours or less. So it's a really easy thing for you to grab. And so you can get that momentum, right? Sometimes we just need that momentum of like, okay, now I know what I need to do to get it started. It's up, it's pretty, you're excited. And now we can move into the momentum of creating the videos themselves.
Okay, right on. So I will put that link in the description below, but I want to say from a place of like honesty and encouragement, YouTube Fast Track template, I'm sure it's good, but I want you to share, please, with the listener your program. Because when I first started my YouTube channel back in 2017, 2018, I found a coach and I bought a program because like I definitely believe let's take the shortest route to success as possible. And that means like I need the whole strategy in a way that I can implement and follow. And you have an agency that works with businesses one-on-one with their YouTube channels, but you've also taken a good amount of that knowledge and packaged it into your program, right? So you want to share a little bit about that?
So yeah, like I said, I kind of wanted to create something that allowed people to get access to me and my framework without having to have the agency side. And so I built it all into my YouTube lead flow formula, and it's a 3-phase formula. And so the first phase, we really go into the strategy, making sure we have that firm foundation of your channel itself and that sales funnel on the back end, right? Because it's not just about going quote unquote viral on YouTube or having a million subscribers. It's really about how can I fuel my business with the best fit leads, those leads that are going to purchase from you and help you scale your business. It's like little sales people out in the world working for you when you're not working. So think about it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we want, right? That is the first phase of the program. And then the second phase, we go into the YouTube flywheel. And that's really the system of how to create videos. We go through, how to pick the topic, how to write your scripts, how to edit, how to repurpose, like all those things is inside of there. And it's a step-by-step formula that you can rinse and repeat over and over again. So it's like that flywheel that just works over and over again. And then we go into the third phase, which is, okay, so now I know how to create videos, but how can I create videos fast? Because that's the biggest hang up for people is, I don't want to be chasing that rabbit every single week. Like, oh crap, I have to create another YouTube video, because that's a mistake I made at the beginning. So this system shows you how to batch and create content in 2 hours or less per month. And that's 4 videos every single month. And I give you the exact workflow that I use for myself and for my agency clients, and step by step, like plug and play into a project management tool. So you can really get this system up and working for you quickly.